Picture this. I'm floating in the crystal clear water of my own pond, the kind of peaceful moment you dream about when you buy a place like mine. It's a warm July morning in 2024, and I'm soaking up the sun in my backyard in Willow Creek, a quiet little community in Oregon. Then, out of nowhere, I hear this angry stomping through the grass, like someone's about to declare war. I open my eyes, and there's Margaret, the HOA president, charging toward my pond like she owns it, waving a piece of paper and screaming about a $1,000 fine for unauthorized use of community water. My pond. On my property. I'm Nathan, 40, a software engineer who bought this place 4 years ago for that exact pond, a private oasis, not some shared neighborhood puddle. But Margaret's got other ideas, and what I thought was just another HOA power trip turned out to be a much darker game. Little did she know, I was about to turn her own rules against her in a way she'd never see coming. Let me rewind. It's a perfect Saturday, and I'm doing what I do every weekend, swimming in my pond. I checked every legal document when I bought this place: deed, survey, title, you name it. That pond is mine, no question. So when Margaret storms up, clipboard in hand, looking like she was born to ruin people's days, I'm baffled. Her perfectly pressed slacks and that smug expression scream professional complainer. "You're in violation of community regulations," she yells, loud enough to scare every duck in a 5-mile radius. I climb out, dripping wet, trying to stay calm because, honestly, I hate conflict. Always have, ever since I was the kid getting pushed around in school. "Margaret, there's got to be a mix-up," I say, toweling off. "This is my pond. I've got the paperwork." But she cuts me off, waving a map that looks like a toddler scribbled it during an earthquake. According to her, my pond is community property under HOA jurisdiction. The neighbors, Mrs. Larson next door, the Thompsons across the street, are suddenly glued to their windows, watching this drama unfold like it's reality TV. Then it gets absurd. Margaret starts snapping photos of me, shouting about evidence of unauthorized usage for the whole block to hear. As she backs up for a better shot, she steps right into a muddy patch by the pond's edge. Splat. Down she goes, clipboard flying, phone skidding across the grass. She's sprawled in the mud, looking like an angry cat in a rainstorm. I rush over to help because, I'm not a jerk, but she slaps my hand away, screeching, "Don't touch me." The neighbors are barely hiding their smirks as she stumbles to her feet, mud streaking her perfect outfit. Then she drops the bomb. "You're fined $1,000. Pay within 7 days." That night, I sit by my pond, watching the sunset, feeling like I've been dropped into a nightmare. Neighbors who used to wave now avoid me. Mrs. Larson ducks inside when I grab my mail. It's like I've got some kind of social plague, all because Margaret decided my pond belongs to the HOA. I call my buddy Ethan, who's lived in Willow Creek forever. He's a no-nonsense mechanic who doesn't sugarcoat anything. "Man, Margaret's pulled this stunt before," he tells me. "The last 3 owners of your place? She hit them with the same fake rules. They all sold and left within a couple years." My stomach drops. This isn't random, she's got a playbook. Ethan's voice gets low. "She's been scamming people with made-up fees and threats. You're just her latest target." That night, I'm pacing my house, staring at my pond, feeling like I'm drowning in my own backyard. The next morning, a second HOA letter arrives, demanding I attend an emergency board meeting about my unauthorized resource usage. They're now talking about monthly fees for my own pond. Insane. I show up at the community Centera beige box that feels like where joy goes to die, armed with my property documents. I'm ready to end this nonsense. But walking in feels like stepping into a courtroom where I'm already guilty. Margaret's at the head table, acting like she's running a federal trial. My neighbor Paul, who I used to chat with about football, won't even look at me. He gives me this cold stare, like I stole his dog. Margaret kicks things off, accusing me of unlawfully using community water and flashing a slick presentation with doctored satellite photos that make my pond look like it belongs to everyone. I try to show my documents, but she shuts me down. Then Paul stands up and says, "I've lived here 10 years, and that pond's always been community property. Previous owners paid fees. Fees. I've never paid a dime for my pond." The room murmurs, and suddenly I'm the greedy outsider stealing from the neighborhood. Margaret piles on, threatening legal action for violating shared property agreements. They vote $500 monthly fees, retroactive for 4 years. Hands go up, including Paul's. I'm stunned, watching my neighbors turn on me. That night, I can't sleep. I'm pacing at 2 a.m., replaying Paul's betrayal, wondering how Margaret flipped him. My hands shake as I hold the meeting notes, that old childhood anxiety creeping back. I call Sophie, a sharp young lawyer I found online who loves taking on underdog cases. She listens to my story and says, "Nathan, something's off with your water bills. I see a pattern that doesn't add up." She asks for every bill I've got since buying the house. I'm organized, so I bring her 4 years' worth. Spreading them out on her desk feels like we're unraveling a crime scene. "Look at this," Sophie says, pointing to a line item. "Pond maintenance fee, $200 a month. It's been there every month, signed by M. Sullivan Margaret Sullivan. That's $9,600 I've paid for a fee that doesn't exist in any HOA rules." Sophie checks with the water department. No such program exists. The money's been going straight to an account Margaret controls. I'm shaking again, but this time it's rage. She's been stealing from me for years. Ethan calls with more. The previous owners? They paid similar fake fees. I've been hit with stormwater system charges for 2 years, even though my house isn't near any drains. Margaret's been running a scam. Pick a homeowner, invent a fee, threaten legal action. Most pay up or leave. I decide to go public, emailing a local reporter with my bills, Sophie's analysis, and Ethan's story. For 48 hours, I'm hopeful, picturing Margaret's scheme exposed. Big mistake. 2 days later, I get a letter from Sullivan and Partners Legal Services claiming I'm defaming the HOA and demanding I retract my statements or face a lawsuit. The letterhead screams money and power. Then, the next morning, I wake up to 20 neighbors protesting outside my house, holding signs like "Protect our community pond" and "Stop selfish property abuse." Margaret's there, bullhorn in hand, preaching about community values while pointing at my house like it's a crime scene. I watch from my window, feeling like the world's against me. Even Paul's out there, along with the couple I helped with a flat tire last month. The isolation hits hard. I catch myself staring at my pond, my reflection looking like a stranger, tired, beaten. Then things get worse. One morning, my pond's a sickly yellow-brown, reeking of chemicals and dead fish floating everywhere. I call the county, and an inspector confirms it's sabotable chemicals and industrial dyes dumped deliberately. But when I try to report it, the police say Margaret already filed a complaint, claiming I'm making false accusations to cover my own neglect. She's got fake documents showing I failed to maintain community water. In court, her lawyer paints me as the villain, and the judge slaps me with a $2,000 fine for safety violations. I'm drowning in fines. $1,000, $2,000, $9,600 in fake fees, plus $500 a month they want retroactively. The courthouse steps feel like a mountain as I leave, each one heavier than the last. But I'd installed hidden cameras around my pond after Margaret's first visit. Ethan reminds me to check the footage. We pull it up, and there's Richard, the HOA vice president, with 2 others, dumping chemicals into my pond at 2 a.m. using HOA equipment. You can see the labels, hear them talk about making it look like neglect. We've got them. But in court, Richard claims he was treating contamination I caused, reading a scripted statement. Sophie uncovers a game changer. Under Oregon water law, I can charge for unauthorized use of my groundwater. The HOA's been using my pond for community irrigation for 4 years. 6 households at $500 a month equals $12,000 they owe me. Then Ethan drops a bomb. The previous owner was Margaret's sister, Laura, who died in a crash. Her will said the pond should be sold privately, never under HOA control. Margaret's been forging documents to reclaim it since I bought it. Margaret tries one last move, showing up with $5,000 cash, offering a mutually beneficial resolution. I tell her I want every stolen penny back, her resignation, and criminal charges, plus the $12,000 her HOA owes me. Her face twists from shock to rage. "You don't know who you're dealing with," she hisses, storming off. But Sophie had tipped off the police, who were watching. Attempted bribery, another felony. Ethan digs deeper. Margaret's been moving money offshore, booking flights to non-extradition countries. She's planning to flee. The final HOA meeting is electric. The room's packed, and Margaret looks nervous. Detective Harris stands up. Margaret Sullivan is under investigation for fraud, embezzlement, and identity theft. He reveals she's been scamming homeowners across 3 neighborhoods for a decade. Sophie exposes her forged surveys, and Harris drops the bombshell. Margaret's been impersonating Laura to manipulate the estate. Richard, cooperating with police, admits she sold fake pond access shares to investors. I stand and lay it out. $9,600 in fake fees, $12,000 in water usage fees, plus harassment damages $21,600 total. The room's silent as neighbors like Paul apologize, admitting they were misled. Margaret's arrested, handcuffed as she rants about her family's pond. That night, I swim in my clean pond, tossing the HOA's sign into the water. It's mine again. This fight taught me truth can win if you don't back down. Keep records, find allies, stand your ground. So what do you think? Was Margaret just a greedy con artist, or was she driven by something deeper? Could my neighbors have known about her scam all along? Drop your wildest theories below. Hit that like button if you're inspired to fight back, and subscribe for more stories of standing up to bullies. What's your worst HOA nightmare? Share ITI read every comment.